goddamn Irish demon. Son of a bitch. That's what happens. I talk to him for 5 seconds, and all of a sudden I get the Irish demon tech. No sound rookie. Grr. It happens. I'm not muted anymore. Gosh, Steve K, it was Irish Demon. It's always Irish Demon's fault. Always. Hi, I have a puppy dog. The same one that wants to jump up, but it will not come up here to say hi to everybody. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Hope everybody's having an awesome evening, day, or whatever the heck it is. Again, I don't know the CC Chris thing anymore. It's been a while. What would Valentine's Day be like without Johnny O? I don't know. I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. It was supposed to be just a little jokey joke with the Come Celebrate VD, which was Johnny O, but apparently there's some people in here talking about actual venereal disease, and I hope you guys don't have that. But if you do, some pills or something, but my goodness. Let's see who we have in the side chat. Tripod, obviously being the first, says, hey, Johnny O, should you really be celebrating venereal disease? Just saying. Sorry, mate. I just couldn't resist. But there's cream for the itch. This is true. Vlad the Impaler, good to see you. Chili's knee pressure monitor says, help. What can we help you with? Do you need something? I'm sure you do. Dr. Nimrod, good to see you. Kelly Fitzpatrick, hey. Raven Darkstar, good to see you. Mayor, good to see you. Cygnus, good to see you. Says, I demand the show start now because I surely will fall asleep by 10 p.m. Eastern. I think you're still here, Cygnus. I think I saw you in there, so you're not asleep yet, but I'm sure it'll happen. Got like 30 minutes, I think. Mayor, yes. Raven Darkstar, yes. Brian Powell, good to see you. Let's see here. Nemo 813, Hank's Corner, all the Casey Cooper, what's going down? And Annie in the house, and lots of other folks. And if I missed you, I'm sorry. It just jumped on me. Nick Volt, good to see you. J-Dub, that's right. Hey, all finger guns. And we have the tridents. I want to see some tridents. Show me your tridents, because remember, we aren't tyrants, we're tridents. That's what we're supposed to be for some unknown reason. Let's see. Oh, I got some super chats. Hang on one sec. This thing is going all weird. Muted. Yes, I know. Not anymore, though. What is going on with this chat? So this EVMux is cool, but my wife does deserve something for VD. She got steak in there. Well, I can't have any because I'm on a very restricted meal plan for now. So yeah. I'm allowed chicken, white rice, eggs. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Annie for $6.66. Hellsaken says, Johnny O, I have to know who got the VD. It wasn't me. I didn't get it. Thank God. I don't know if anyone has. What? Yes, puppy dog. I know. They want to see you. So you want to come up here and say hi? No, of course not. But if I stop petting, you'll jump. Watch. Here he comes. No, he's figured it out. So he's like, I don't know. Hank's Corner, who celebrates 6 months of membership, says, Witch of Heart is only 39 subs from 1K. Well, that's awesome. Go check out Witch of Heart. Hank's Corner, if you have a link, let me know. What's up, Tim Hicks? Good to see you. No pills for that, just the old hot silver wire. I know exactly what you're talking about. It was a swab. That swab is not fun. This was years ago, like 25 years ago. It was not fun. I never want to have to do that again. So, what's your favorite STD? None. My goodness. Charlie Wells says it's your 43rd birthday on Friday. Well, I'll be streaming on Friday, and we will wish you a very happy birthday on Friday. I'm told it's bad luck to wish you a happy birthday before your birthday, but I can wish you a happy birthday after your birthday, which is weird to me. I don't understand what that's about, but there it is. So just so you know. Let's see. I had a couple others come in. What's up, Kevin Kaler? Good to see you. Spellbinder. There you go. There you're. See, here's one of the pups. He's upside down right now, though. He's a little one. He's a cutie. Look, there's his paw. He's going to kick me in the face. Ouch! And he's off. Lady Firebrand, stop it! Go to bed. You're speaking to her for bed.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy VD. Yes, they got it. Now go. Yeah, rascals. $2.99 from Lady Firebrand says for your VD treatment. Thank you so much. Dr. Nimrod celebrates 2 months of membership and says finger guns, finger guns, finger guns, finger guns, finger guns, or something like that. Let's see here. We got another one. One sec. I saw it there. Oh, Elizabeth Sylvester celebrates 3 months of membership. Says, hey, Johnny. Hello, Elizabeth. Good to see you. 43 years old. I had a 25-year-old girlfriend. Gosh, that was good times. Was it, though? Was it? JDab celebrates 2 months of membership. Says finger guns, and then trident. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see them tridents. Stop, Adam Strange. Irish Stew with his trident. There we go. We have NANA for $6.66. Again, Hell Sagan says chicken sucks. Sorry, not sorry. It's okay. I'm getting a little tired of it because I pretty much that's all I have. So I wake up, I have 3 eggs. 3 eggs and a fat-free yogurt with protein, like a protein yogurt type thing. And then I get 1 slice of pepper jack cheese. And then I tear my ass to the gym and I work out for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, give or take. Monday, Wednesday, Friday are full body push and pull workouts. Tuesday, Thursday, those are like 2.5 hours of cardio. And then Sunday is a HIIT cardio, which is about 45 minutes of pure fucking torture. And every single day I follow weight training or HIIT training with more like an hour-long cardio. So I've got a film roll that I'm working on. I've got to get I'm gonna get some muscle built and some pounds dropped in like 6-7 weeks ish. It's not going to be like a huge transformation, but it's going to be something different because it's a very physical role. There's going to be some stunts, and we can't afford a stunt double, so yay, I get to do it. Yeah, it is a little too soon. Cygnus jerk chicken last night, and 100% did not suck. That's cool. No, not a border collie. These are, what are they called? Mini Aussies. Although they're not Aussie, Australian, or Austrian. I don't know what they are. You said, okay, cool. Hank's Corner. I'll get to here in just a second. Let's see here. What's up, Tawny? Super Necessary BS Detector says, hello, Johnny. Oh, nice to see you. Going to sit quiet because I have some pissed off. Someone pissed. What? Oh, I'm sorry about that. NANA has gifted 5 plot hole memberships. Thank you so much, NANA. That is so awesome. Let's see here. We got Brian Powell, Mystique, Tina Jones, Raven Darkstar, Joshua Lee also became a member. Thank you so much, Joshua Lee. Let's see here. Mystique, Tina Jones, Raven Darkstar, Steve K, Tawny. There you go. Look at that. Let's see here. We have Welsh News Network for 2 of the Queen's British Pounds. Says, enjoying my steak. Well, good for you. I'll have one of those in like 7-8 weeks, maybe 9 weeks. But, I'll have one of those. I'll have another one someday. You know what, Welsh? You haven't had a steak unless I've cooked you a steak, okay? I do a few things. Here comes some barking. Bark, 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 bark. I do a few things really well in the kitchen. One of them is cooking steak. Hank's Corner. Love the tridents. Thank you so much. Let me make sure I've got everything else here. Cool. Making sure. Casey Cooper says, what's your thoughts about Marty Friedman guesting with Megadeth? That's going to be super cool. Marty Friedman is my favorite Megadeth lead guitar player. I love Marty Friedman. The guy is a treasure in the music community. He is so out there. He's got his video talking about what is he talking about? I forget what the video is called, but he's like, I can't have that, baby. He's anti sweet picking, and it's something like why I don't sweet pick or something like that. And he's just so funny whenever he does this stuff. The way he talks about it, he's like, whoever told you sweet picking was cool, certainly your girlfriend didn't tell you sweet picking was cool. That was just, my goodness, it's so funny. Joshua Lee with the tridents, thank you so much. All right, cool. Hey, Chester, good to see you. Let me see here. Make sure I don't miss anything. 45 minutes of HIIT will kill you. It does. God bless America. It is. So it was so I did the first one Sunday. It's supposed to be, and I know everybody here who's here to see the court stuff. We'll get there in a second, but you know, the first one was Sunday, and I was supposed to do 20-second sprints of the battle ropes, but somebody was occupying the battle rope station, so I did medicine balls, followed by body squats, followed by mountain men with like a 60-second break in between. I think I did like 5 or 6 of those in a row. No, I'm sorry, I did 10 of those. Yeah, gosh. Hey, Crystal Kieran. Yeah, I don't know. My wife's over there making a face at me. What's this? I can't look at that. Not even water.
I can't eat breakfast.
No, that's true, but that's for another day. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Hey, speaking of, what are you doing?
Just looking at the
Those are tridents.
tridents.
Yep.
I said you're doing all those workouts, but
So they can't see your super muscles. Look at that. She's got muscles. Muscles. It's crazy. What's up, Archangel 3? Good to see you. Martin H, good to see you. Okay, so Vasara 21, I looked at hi. Brown rice, the benefits of brown rice versus white rice in the meal plan that I'm at. White rice actually works better because I'm on such a limited carb diet that I'm eating the rice more for the carb than anything else. So I get up 3 eggs, slice of cheese, and a little small cup of yogurt, and then right off to the gym. When I come back, I'm allowed a banana and a thing of yogurt for a mid morning snack, whatever. And then for lunch, I'm allowed 8 ounces of chicken breast, and then a cup of rice with some cheese. That's it, and an egg. Sorry, can't forget the egg. So yeah, that's what I have for dinner. My goodness. But yeah, that's what I've been having. Am I a medium rare kind of? Medium rare. Yeah, medium rare. I'm more on the rare side because I like to taste my food. Delete Laws says, Happy Valentine's Day lawsuit to everyone. Oh boy. So looking forward to that one. Thoughts on the upcoming Metallica album being released in April. The first 2 songs that I have heard are good. The first, like Lux Eterna, I really appreciated. Not right now, baby. You go on. Not right now. I'm working here. Go get your mother. No, I'm working here. You go on.
But it's not for you. It's for people.
Okay, no.
Can you ask
No.
Them
No.
Can you ask them to pick
See?
a number from 1 to 4?
No, they don't want to pick a number between 1 and 4.
Someone does nice, please pick a number between 1 and 4.
Oh my god. Script cat with the tridents, and then Mr. Hadrat says, excuse me while I lurk and cook. Yeah. I'm looking forward to the new Metallic album. Like I said, they could put out an album of fucking like Christmas songs. I'd probably buy it. Abby Paul with some tridents. Thank you so much. She does give the sweetest kisses. She's awesome. Hank's Corner. Was it medicine balls for the VD? Yes. Yes, it was. All right. Let's see here. Well, I feel guilty. No, don't feel guilty about eating Taco Bell. You feel guilty for your toilet about eating Taco Bell. $4.99 from Mel Ronderos says, what a health program of good eating and solid exercises when you could follow Dr. DeCastro's fasting regimen. That is the worst thing you can do if you're like a bodybuilder. Great. Intermittent fasting is great if you do the work that goes along with intermittent fasting. But just doing intermittent fasting is the stupidest thing you can do. And again, I'm not a health expert by any means, but yeah, it's not good for you. Plot hole is all purple. I am. Jesus Christ. Oh no. Free weights are best. Yeah, I do free weights. I do the free weights when I'm doing the push-pull days, with the exception of a couple of machines, but that's because you gotta have them. Rare? Yeah, I like rare steak. Ari says, my steak needs to be killed twice. Yikes. Hello, me. It's me again. Speaking of Megadeth references, there you go. But yeah, new Metallica album. Really looking forward to it. The new In Flames album came out just a couple days ago, and I've got mine supposedly coming, but I haven't had the best of luck with the In Flames shop. So we'll see what happens. Medium rare. Okay. All right. If you are down to one egg, try AQN Emu egg. Oh no, I can have three eggs for breakfast, one egg for lunch, and one egg for dinner. So we have a bunch of threes. Jocelyn, they said three. Let's see here. 75. I don't think that was one of the choices. That's definitely not one of the choices. Taste. Oh, jeez. Good evening, Becca, Welsh News Network. All right, let me hear.
BFF, cutie, love, or be mine.
Okay, pick one of those things. Apparently, I'm with you on that Mariah Carey song. My goodness. The Johnny O diet will replace Atkins. No, this is not. This is only for. This is like a very limited thing, just to kind of like shock everything and get myself ready to, Oh,
Love. Someone said love.
no. We got Be Mine comes up a lot.
Okay, be mine.
Be Mine, yeah. Yeah, we'll go with that one. What does it say?
Be mine says your teacher will give out candy today.
Your teacher will give out candy today. You got candy?
Yeah.
You lucky sucker. All right, now you go get ready for bed. Brush them candy teeth. Commander Darkthought, I see you over there. I see you over there. All right, let's see here. Let me see what I got going on. So we've got two that I've been looking at. This all comes from Old Squishy Gardener's Court Watch. I have either Drama Queen Seeks Warrant or One Wild Crazy Day in Court. No nonsense judge sentences multiple repeat offenders plus more. Let me know what you guys want. I don't know. That was a lot there. It was a lot. Free candy is always good. Well, I've got a van. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Unchain America, let's do it. 700. That's a goal. If we can get to 700 watching the live stream, we're only 542 away, but we'll be there. Oh, man. All right. Wild Day, please. We want Wild Day? Okay, we're going to do Wild Day. Wild Day. That's what everybody seems to want. I'm going to pause that for a second and do that. And then we're going to go like so. Share this video if it's going to work. Why don't you want to work? Oh, there we go. No, that's not what I wanted. Share my screen. Boom. All right. And we're going to add this. All right, let's check it out. Let's see what we got. Let's make sure the volume is good. Guess we'll hear.
He's in somebody's court. Rife, Kimmler.
I have not the sunken grave.
Okay, thanks. Rife. Well, I got the defendant is waving to me. He can hear me. Okay, Rife. Rife. You're coming in great. It's your attorney.
Hey, Tina Slade.
Who is
He's not even on anymore.
not now? He's off. This works so well.
Gotta love when technology doesn't work.
Oh yeah, that doesn't make me seasick watching that.
Yeah.
22-40080. Give it to Lori. She knows how to work those things. Thanks, Lori. It's just mute him permanently. There's okay, you left the meeting. Okay, there you go. All right, 22-40080 is now called the state of Texas versus Matt David.
Oh no, that's my state. Now you gotta love the Zoom court thing because we get to see a lot of it, right? But in just a little bit, it's a little bit. I mean, come on. It's been long enough that they should have been able to figure out a lot of these bugs. Now, I don't know if it's they don't have an adequate technology department or tech support over there, or it's just that, Zoom kind of sucks, but it is what it is.
Leonard McElroy. You are Mr. McElroy,
Yes, sir.
present, and there's Mr. Kimmler here in the courtroom.
Yes, sir.
Earlier, you pleaded guilty to this second-degree felony of tampering with physical evidence. A
That's not a good thing to
pre-sentence
do.
report has been prepared. Have the parties had an opportunity to review it? And are there any corrections or changes to it?
Not from the sense.
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Update on certain. Thank you. All right, the pre-sentence
2 pounds from Welsh News Network says, damn, you two paused my life twice today. Damn Ellen. Well, Ellen is on ABC. ABC is owned by Disney. So our Disney owned, I don't know. There's a relationship between Disney and ABC. So yeah, they get pretty shitty. Thank you for that super chat, by the way. Hello from Australia. Hello, hello. Good to see you. What happened? What happened? It's been long enough that everybody else with a set of balls besides me can speak the fuck up and say what needs to be said. I've already done it dozens of times and take a couple ass beatings along. Well, I hope you're not taking any more ass beatings. Okay? I don't like people fighting. Let's not do that. Unless it's Chili and whip his ass. I mean, you know, legally, of course, in the ring that he will never show up to because of his knee pressure.
report is made a part of the record for all purposes. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. His criminal history is obviously a little maximized here. We have a beginning in 2001. It looks like the defendant was placed on probation for illegal possession of a controlled substance, and then later that was revoked, like 2.5 years later, and he was sentenced to 2 years in the state jail.
You know you done fucked up when the judge was back 22 years.
Then in 2003, he was also placed on deferred probation for an offense that he committed after he was placed on deferred probation in the illegal possession of controlled substance case we first talked about. And that was another illegal possession of a controlled substance. The court placed him on deferred probation for 8 years. That was revoked at the same time. His earlier probation was revoked and he received 4 years in prison. There's another illegal possession of a controlled substance. I see date of offense was September 19th of 2003, after he was placed on probation for the first 2 illegal possession of controlled substances. That case was adjudicated at the same time that he was sentenced to a prison and state jail on the previous illegal possession cases. And
oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to get this. I'm so sorry. Witch of Heart. I was supposed to put this in here. My bad. I'm glad Hank and Welsh and everybody sent it to me. So here it is. Go check out Witch of Heart. Let's see here. The plot hole. I like the new logo with Johnny O's face. Any plans to put that on merch? Absolutely, Paracord Princess. I'm probably going to make a couple things. I don't know if it's pinned. Let me know if the Soft Sit University shirt is pinned in the chat up there, because if it's not, that's going away soon. I want everybody to get your Soft Sit University t-shirt before I take it out. I'm gonna revamp the whole Teespring stuff. I'm gonna get rid of some, get rid of things that people don't buy, which is fine. And then put some new stuff up and see what's going down. See if you guys like some of the new stuff. I think I put up some. It's pinned. Cool. Buy one of those before it goes away. Those are going away soon. It's one of my favorite shirts. So it'll be gone for a while. And it might come back. I mean, obviously, because it's kind of a cool shirt. But the Job of the Gut, that's going away soon. The Soft Sit's going away soon. The old style, like the original plot hole shirts and whatnot, that's all going away. You make room for the new stuff. And then we're going to get a couple of, I think we're going to leave up, I think I just put up the Insomniac Films stickers and tote bags. Get one of those if you want. That'll help support the film efforts and whatnot. So there you go. But yeah, I will. That was a long, drawn-out way to say, yes, I'm going to put the new logo on merchandise. So
He received 2 years state jail confinement on that. Thereafter, in 2009, the defendant is charged with tampering with physical evidence, and that was adjudicated by a jury trial. It was in this court?
I believe so, Your Honor.
And he received 10 years imprisonment there. So that would be his fourth felony. Then later on,
That would be bad for him because I'm no lawyer.
in 2015, he receives another tampering with physical evidence case, and that was
Thank you, Just Beach. He is. He's very,
adjudicated,
very
and he received 5 years imprisonment in 2015.
True story.
Thereafter, in 2019, he is charged with illegal possession of a controlled substance and was sentenced to 1 year in the state jail in November of 21.
My goodness, this is like the intro to a Star Wars film. We're almost 5 minutes in. Now, granted, the first probably 30 to 45 seconds of them trying to figure out their tech, but we're 5 minutes in and we're still talking about his criminal history.
But he also received a second 1 year state jail confinement on a second possession of a controlled substance, which apparently occurred 2 months after his first arrest of possession of a controlled substance. That's the way I figured. So that is how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 convictions of felonies, including 2 of tampering with physical evidence. And that's the crime he's charged with now. Okay. That's essentially the criminal history. And in this case, the defendant pleaded guilty to paragraphs 1 and 2. Paragraph 1 being illegal tampering with physical evidence involving a bottle containing phencyclidine or
Adam Strain says, does the 3 strikes law only apply to violent crimes? It depends on the municipality, depends on the state, depends on the city. Some places have it. And I know in some states, for instance, in California, 3 strikes, it's supposed to be 3 strikes, you're out sort of thing. But there are, like if you're on your first strike, right? Let's say you're on your first strike and you're on probation or parole for that first strike and you violate your probation or parole, that doesn't count as another strike. At least it didn't like 20 years ago. It may have changed, but it doesn't count as a second strike. It just counts as a violation towards your first strike. So that's kind of weird. And the strike system is so weird. It's not as clear cut. You know, this dude loves the devil's dandruff. He probably does. Or he likes, you know, I mean, I'm not sure exactly what controlled substance. If this is Texas, it could be anything. It could be anything from marijuana all the way up to all the big ones. So there you are. And then some people say 3 strikes voted unconstitutional in California 2012. There you go. Yeah, like I said, it was years ago. Not that I know from personal experience. But some people have noticed that this guy looks like this guy is, you know, like I'm this person's attorney. And if I were, my advice would be, let me see if I can do this really quick. I have to stop screen share. No, I don't want to do that. Hang on a second. We'll figure this out. I'm gonna tell you what my advice would be here in just a second. I promise it's gonna be worth it. Okay. Don't they just say bottle of liquid PCP? Did they say that? I might have missed it. I was reading chats and whatnot. Wouldn't surprise me though. Got to be honest. Wouldn't surprise me. All right, let's see what else we got for this
PCP, and he also pleaded true to one of the illegal possessions of controlled substance convictions, the one from 2004 that we had mentioned, that I had mentioned earlier. So it's a 3rd-degree felony, which has been increased to a 2nd-degree felony or enhanced by virtue of the one of the 3 prior felony convictions that the defendant was charged with. And the court would note, had he been convicted of everything here, he would be looking at a habitual
Minimum
felon
25.
status, which would have been no less than 25, nor more than 99 years confinement in prison or life imprisonment. But as it was, Mr. Kimler was able to negotiate a deal here where whatever sentence shall not exceed a cap of 15 years confinement in prison. So we are looking at no less than 2 nor more than 15 years confinement in prison. He could be placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation as well. He could be placed on regular probation. All right. I think those are the boundaries.
7 minutes in, and they just finished talking about his criminal history. 7 minutes. So this would be my advice.
Stop breaking the law, asshole!
There, that's my advice to this gentleman here. Now, I don't want to minimize. I mean, addiction is a terrible, terrible thing to have to deal with. But yeah, stop breaking the law.
Boundaries that we're looking at. And again, no objections to the pre-sentence report.
No.
Okay, then go ahead for the defense, Mr. Kimler.
Your Honor, I would note that in the third paragraph of the recommendation portion of the pre-sentence report, the preparing probation officer sagaciously notes that a study of the defendant's known criminal history emphatically suggests that the possession and use of illegal substances have been a very destructive force throughout his adult life. I think that about sums up the position that Mr. McElroy is in facing the court today with the substantial criminal history that he has and the long and storied convictions that he has for drug possession and the associated tampering with evidence type of offenses. I've talked to Mr. McElroy extensively in this case, particularly prior to entering the plea and then subsequent to that in preparation for the sentencing hearing. I sort of regret him not actually being here in person. I know that the court in making these decisions tries to consider all aspects of the defendant's demeanor and everything else. And I think if the defendant were present in person, perhaps the court would have a better feel for where he is in this particular moment of his life as far as desiring to remediate his drug dependency and drug abuse. I know that in talking with him, I've discussed why I guess the etiology, so to speak, of his substance abuse issues and why he uses or has continued to use PCP in particular, the criminal history that he's accumulated. And in talking with him, it appears to me, of course, I'm not an expert, that he's used PCP repeatedly as a coping mechanism for various traumas and stresses of his life in this particular case. And again, I'm not offering this to detract from his culpability or to excuse it, but is dealing with the death of a relative. And I assume that instead of just dealing with the normal grief process, he chose to mask that with PCP and the effects, the psychoactive effects that has on him, and which enabled him to sort of cope or deal with the psychology, the grief, the psychology.
Now, I understand that as this defense attorney, he's got to do what he can to kind of paint the best picture possible. But my goodness, that seems like a lot of gymnastics there to try and minimize this gentleman's crimes. And again, I don't want to speak disparagingly of people who are dealing with addiction issues, because that is a very difficult thing to do, very difficult thing to deal with, especially when you're adding in trauma, you're adding in, all the outside stressors. And some people, they're able to handle addiction much easier than others. Other people aren't. So at the end of the day, you do have to come to the point where you're like, no, I'm done with this shit. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get away from it. And it's going to be difficult. It's always a difficult journey dealing with addiction. I haven't drank in, gosh, I don't know how long, 5-6 years. And I'm not long. comparatively speaking to others who've, dealt with this for a long time. But, it's still difficult. It's still difficult to not drink. You still think about it, right? But every day you got to make that choice. I'm not going to have a drink today. Cool. I'm not going to drink right now. I got water. That's what I have here, water. But yeah, I could only imagine what it was like. It's why I never wanted to get into drugs, because I'm not necessarily an all or nothing type person, but if I like something, I'm going to fucking use it. A quick story. When I was 20 years old, I had a pretty not severe. It was a moderate back injury that put me out for a bit. So I went to the doctor. The doctor gave me some muscle relaxers and said, hey, take two of these twice a day to help with your back issues. I was like, all right, cool. I took two whilst at work and I was gone. I had, like the craziest. Yeah, it was insane, right? And I liked it so much that I took them back to the doctor the next day and said, here, because they gave me the sample ones. Here, take these. I don't ever want to see these again. I don't ever want to give them to me again because I like them that much. So yeah. Lord KJW says, I am for the legalization of cannabis in the USA. I got to tell you, and this is not, I don't have a problem with this. I don't have a problem sharing this, but I know it's not the most popular opinion. I think all substances should be legalized, from heroin all the way down. I think we need to get rid of drug crime. We need to stop criminalizing addiction and start treating it as a health issue, not a criminal issue. Now, things, like theft and whatnot, that's different, right? You steal something, you still need to be punished for stealing, right? You kill somebody because of this, you still need to be punished for killing somebody. But taking somebody who's addicted to a substance and putting them in prison, that does not work. That's a fact. It is a fact that does not work. Overall, there's some people that like, no, I don't want to do this shit anymore, so I'm gonna get, straight and sober, clean up. But no, it doesn't work. Yeah, legalize prostitution. Absolutely. I agree. As long as it's, you have that regulation on it, right? So, Mr. Andrews said, I had my last alcoholic drink 22 years ago. Congratulations. Yeah, 22 years is a long time, man. Yeah. Let's see here. Dr. Nimrod says they should be at least decriminalized like the Portuguese have done. Users are brought to doctors, not just. Yeah, every place that has tried it has seen success, both in reduction of everybody says, well, if you legalize drugs, then more and more people are going to become addicted. The opposite of that happened, like in France, Belgium, Portugal, and I forget, there's a couple of places that just legalized everything, and they saw overdoses drastically drop. They saw addiction rates go down. They saw crime associated with drugs go down, and that might be because, again, they were no longer, criminalizing that. So that might have been like a natural consequence of that. But anyway, it works. It does. I'm not saying it needs to be a free for all, because these places don't just have free for alls. It's not like, well, France said it was okay to shoot up heroin. You can do it anywhere and anywhere. No, they have places they want you to go, people that, areas. You can't just run around, I'll shoot up right here. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Psychological grief that he was going through. I've talked to him about treatment modalities.
Yeah, if we are doxing an address, we're not doing that. Let's get rid of that shit. Let's not do that shit. It's not cool to dox.
I've spoken to him again through my studies, things that have tended to seem to work with people that are in his situation, whether it's, the exercise of mindfulness and looking at the problem and trying to examine rationally why he tends to, or why he's continued to engage in conduct that's self-destructive. And I think that he has insight, or at least has demonstrated the ability to have insight, to me anyway, that he recognizes the problem and possesses a sincere desire to change his behaviors. And it's for that reason that I would recommend that the court defer the adjudication of guilt, placing on probation for 10 years, which would expose him to the full punishment range of 20 years. But that, and here's where I converse with the recommendation of CSI report, that if the court is inclined to do that, that he be required to attend and successfully complete the safety program. Because I think without that type of structure and counseling, that he would probably fall short on the deferred probation and be exposed to the full 20 years. I think safety could provide him with the modalities and structure that he needs to reify his desire to become substance abuse free, to live a sober lifestyle.
So I don't have a problem here, right? So instead of saying we're just going to throw you in jail, we're going to put you in 10-year probation, but you're going to have to attend rehab. Essentially, is what he's asking for. I don't necessarily have a problem with that, because I think, again, we should rehab these people so long as this gentleman really does want to be rehabbed and it's not just a ploy. Let's see here. Somebody said legalizing all drugs would decimate the drug cartels. No, it wouldn't. It would actually legitimize them. They would become legitimate businesses, at least in the States. So it would legitimize them. It's what happened with whiskey companies. Is what happened with, beer companies and whatnot during Prohibition, or right after Prohibition. So,
should the court exercise its discretion in sentencing to the maximum allowed under the plea bargain, it would be 15 years. And even on that sentence, I'm sure the court's aware that in all likelihood he would probably be substantially less than the 15 years. And then he would be returned to society basically the same as he is now, with the same.
Yeah, it decimated the black market when cannabis was legalized, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with, we don't need a black market anymore. But see, what that may not take into account was are those people that were in the black market that became legitimate business people now. Look at what happened in Colorado when they first legalized. A lot of those places were legitimized and they went there. It's cool. I can set up over here and boom,
Substance abuse issues and a strong likelihood of recidivist behavior and reoffend and be back in the same situation with drugs that he is now. And that's, again, why I would suggest to the court that if he were here available to address the court in person, I think it would perhaps be more apparent to the court of his sincere desire to become drug-free and his willingness to participate in safety and try to avail himself of all the opportunities that would offer. And if the court would allow him to be on probation and successfully complete it.
Hey, Angie.
All right, State.
Your Honor, as the court's aware, the defendant has an extensive prior criminal history, as well as he has a prior tampering with physical evidence, which is the same offense he's charged with here, one of them. And he received 10 years in this court on March 8th, 2010 for that. And keeping consistent with the court's previous rulings on these type of cases is that the state believes he should get more than he got the last time for the same type of offense, which the state would be asking for the 15 years. However, the court finds the defendant obviously is in more in need of a drug treatment for this. The state's also fine with that as well.
Mr. McElroy, I wanted to address.
Go ahead, defendant, Mr. McElroy. What do you want to say?
Your Honor, I'm getting older in age and I do have a problem. I recognize it, and the excuses and all that is not worth it. My time is not worth it. My kids not worth it. Nothing. So I'm tired of losing behind it. That make any sense. As far as treatment, I take any kind of treatment.
Anything else?
Yeah, I apologize that Mr. McElroy is not more articulate, but I do believe, based on my extensive discussions with him, that although he's not able to express himself as I would particularly like, he
That's when you, as the attorney, should have said, no, you're not going to say anything. I'll speak for you. When you're when your client has this type of difficulty, and again, I'm not trying to throw any shade at the client, at this gentleman here, because again, dealing with that type of addiction is a pain in the ass, and then there could be some education things, whatever. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter when your client doesn't have the ability to aptly articulate what he's trying to say. Then you should know you don't need to say anything unless you were directly asked a question, and boom.
Possesses a sincere desire to change his behavior is what I've been able, and of course I can't look into it and say that for a fact, but he gives every indication to me that he's reached sort of the end of the line with this, and it won't treatment and help. Now, is that to say that once he gets the treatment and help, he's going to be able to succeed and be drug-free? No, that's why you put him on deferred, and if he has a slip up again, you've got the full range of punishment of 20 years open to you, so. But what risk is it to give him a chance to?
Have you read the
Try it.
pre-sentence report?
Yes, I know he's got a lot of criminal history.
Not that. He's been in and out of treatment.
Well, but that's what I'm saying.
Safe P treatment.
The point that he's reached,
You're-
in life, that he's.
No, now it's on his, he's decided he's gonna do it. No,
Yeah, this is where I'm going to disagree with the judge here, right? Like, it's a bad thing that he's decided, but that's where, if he is genuine, like if he is genuinely wants to get clean and sober, that's where it starts, right? So you can put people in rehab all day, every day. If they don't want to stop, they're not gonna. They're gonna find a reason to relapse. But if you find somebody who genuinely wants to clean up, that's the best thing for them. But again, I'm not a judge. Shiz did not catch any VD. Gosh.
this is 22 years solid of this type of behavior that he's been convicted for. 22 years. He's been on probation three separate times and failed. He's been to prison four separate times. And 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
4,
prison's
5,
not a
6,
place for
7,
drug addicts.
8 convictions, 7 of these are felonies. And here, history of substance abuse treatment. The defendant attended treatment within a substance abuse safe P facility in 2019 and proceeding into 2020. He has also sought unsuccessfully privatized inpatient treatment in Houston prior to return to Jefferson County in October of 2022. And his last employment in October of 22, he failed his drug test with phencyclidine. They've tried. He's tried. The others have tried. He just has a consistent desire to revert back to bad decision making. 22 full years.
I don't like that generalization. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that, but I don't necessarily think he has a desire to do so. I think he has an addiction problem, which can cloud judgment.
Years of drug-related crimes, and he's gotten even the most substance abuse felony punishment, which is as much as we can do, and he steals. God bless you. Anyway,
All of it observes is that he's at a stage in his life where he's older, and I think possesses perhaps an increased degree of ability to reflect and observe his conduct. And should the court put him on probation, again, you have the full 20 years that you could sentence him to.
That's a good
Whereas if
question.
you sentence him to the penitentiary based on his history, there's no reason to think that it's not going to follow its pattern, that he's going to do, I don't know, 7 or 8 years at the most. And
you know,
be
the
released,
thing,
and then he
not to
reoffends
enter into this, but that's not what you tendered to the court with his rich criminal history and his pre-sentence report is not something. Those are not options I'm going to take. Now, I would be willing to consider if he wants to plead to habitual felon and be placed on on deferred, I might be willing to consider that.
I'd have to speak with him and explain to him.
But he'd be looking at life imprisonment if he made one, which this court wouldn't hesitate to do under these circumstances. But
What we could
I'm
do-
not telling you how to do things, but
what we could
he
do-
has been an absolute failure here, and just telling me now after 7 convictions, 8 convictions, and into safety and other treatments, that now really, this time, he's promising, his promises are going to be good. Every time he went on probation, which was 4 separate probations he failed, he made a promise, I will follow all the terms. And if I don't, then I know I can be revoked.
I agree with the court, because in the best indication of future behavior is past behavior as well.
But but right now, that cap is at 15, which the court is looking at the top end, of course, based upon his rich criminal history and his failure at attempts to help himself, which he's had more than his fair opportunities. But
Ferg, I tend to agree, right? So again, I spoke about it earlier, talking about, hi, by the way, saying that I don't think we should be punishing him for being an addict. However, if in his addiction, there's some theft issues, assault issues, etc., those do need to be punished. But if his crime is solely a drug crime, I'm one of the few instances, not a few instances, but one of the instances that I'm more liberal on this issue. I don't think we should be criminalizing drug issues. I really don't.
if somebody like this wants to be placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation, looking at life imprisonment, that's about as much of a motivation.
Yeah, basically, everything that was,
other,
exactly everything that was listed were drug violations, possession. Yeah, so that being what it is.
this side of the coin, it would, on my watch, not to, a failure would not be a real viable option.
Actually, Your Honor, I guess the way I had my suggestion is to go ahead and sentence him, and I'll go out and speak with him about the alternative and see if that's something that he would like to do. I think the court has 30 days. I could file a motion for resentencing if he doesn't.
If nothing further, I'm going to find as follows, sir, that you have pleaded guilty and true to paragraphs 1 and 2 respectively of this indictment, which constitute tampering with physical evidence as punished as a second-degree felony. You understood and appreciated the consequences of pleading guilty and true. There's sufficient evidence supporting your pleas to find you guilty of paragraphs 1 and 2. I so find you guilty and true of paragraphs 1 and 2. And that is a second-degree felony. I am following this agreement. You were hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 15 years. You will be given credit. You've got over 140 days unofficially credit. There's a second case which would be dismissed. I'll hold all of that, though, until you want to come back and let me know how things are.
Yes, thank you.
But, that's just an option, again, that the court would consider, which I hate getting involved in this, but you're looking at for something. And in his case, he has painted a picture that is distressing for himself and for the community.
Mm-hmm. I understand the court's position.
Okay.
I'll be at the top.
That is all.
Thanks.
All right, let me take up Randall Boudreaux really quick, Lee. Ms. Gonzalez,
Good morning, Your Honor.
what are we doing? What are we doing here on Mr. Boudreaux?
So we sent over the affidavits. It was brought to my attention that they're not so clear, the affidavit of indigency. So we're getting them faxed over right now. But aside from that, I believe we just need a trial date.
Judge, the affidavit of indigency is filled out wrong. Ellie showed it to me. It's none of the defendant's information. It's the defendant's sister.
Yeah, when we discussed this last time, the defendant had already been found indigent. And so you asked me to have his family member fill it out so that you had the information that his family was not able to pay for the investigator we were asking for. That's why it's someone else's information and not the defendant's.
But he needs to fill out something swearing that he's indigent as well.
Yeah, and he already has, Your Honor. In the beginning of the case, he was found indigent by this court, and and he's remained in custody since then. So if you would like for him to fill it out again, we can, but my understanding is that the court already has that.
If we have one, we don't need one.
Okay.
Suggest that,
I mean, the only thing I would say, Judge, is at the point he was found indigent, he did have a court-appointed attorney and had since hired their firm. I mean, but I don't know if
Okay.
that changes his circumstances any. He had Mr. Vasquez appointed to him for quite a long time.
all right, so how are you able to be hired on?
Yeah, we can speed this up a little bit because there's a lot of. I don't want subtitles. We'll do that 1.5. Let's see about that.
A major felony case if he's indigent?
So we have been hired at a discounted rate, and we were hired by his family member, and that is why his family member is the one who filled out the form that they're not able to pay anything on top of what they're paying us, and what they're paying us monthly is very minimal. We've been working with the family in order for them to be able to keep us on as retained counsel.
All right, I've gotten this affidavit of indigence that is unsigned. Let's see, unsworn declaration. And it's not signed, it's not in the right place. Nobody signed it. But what is filled out is monthly income of assets at $2,402, and expenses or exceed that income. And the expenses have nothing to do with expenses for an attorney. You see, I got a problem here. This is math. It's a science. They're getting money from somewhere that they're not telling me about, and I don't like that. It's going to have to be forthcoming. But this monthly expense exceeds their income and assets. How can that be and you get paid? When you answer that, let me know. But
And like I said, Your Honor, if I may, they are paying us a very minimal amount.
there's nothing here that they
I
can
understand.
in the math. The math doesn't work.
Okay. And
Yeah,
if you,
It doesn't bother me, I guess. He can, if he wants you to represent him, and they're telling me that however you're getting paid is not being shown to me. I'm not sure that I really am that interested in finding out where y'all are getting paid if it's a minimal amount. But the math doesn't work out. There's something weird about this that is not complete.
Yeah, they're not telling the whole truth on the affidavit. I mean, obviously.
But I'd rather them retain a lawyer than the court have to appoint somebody and cause the taxpayers to pay for it. So anything else about that? We're gonna set it for y'all want a trial on this. We will set it for trial, and we'll put it in the April docket. We call 18-28947 the state of Texas versus Deborah Jean Harris. What are we going to do today?
Your Honor, we were negotiating, me and Mr. Boyd were negotiating a possible resolution in this case. We have not come up with a resolution yet. We've been negotiating a little bit. So I think we probably need a little more time to figure out the sentence in this case.
Well, it's filed as of September, October, November, December. It's going on 5 months old. I can certainly resolve it.
Now, I was told this was a wild and crazy day in court. Matter of fact, it says right up here in Old Squishy, this has not been wild and crazy so far. We're 26 minutes into this hour-long court date. Oh, my goodness. Fangirl says, "Hey, Johnny O, can't believe I'm still awake at 3:30. Yeah, I'm there too. I usually 3:30 kind of roll over and whatnot. So I'm going to get rid of that there. I don't want to look. We don't want to look at this anymore. Don't want to do it. Not going to do it. There. I'm back. Boom. There we go. We'll find something else. We'll do something else. That one was kind of boring. Golly. I'm disappointed. I should have pre-watched these videos. Now, there is one here. The Drama Queen one that seeks warrant. She gets really good, but it does take a minute before we get there. Let's do that just because, and then we'll do this here. We're going to check this out for a little bit, and then we'll see what happens because, yeah, I would like to see something better. Something better. Arian Ron has gifted 5 plot hole memberships. Thank you so much, Arian Ron. Oh, man. Those are your hours, Angie? Yeah, I used to be, well, I still kind of am a night owl. But it's been a while. Again, with all the kids getting up and whatnot, whatever, it doesn't matter. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. Not a night owl as much. I still stay up at night, and I shouldn't because I get up early. Whatever, it is what it is. All right. So this one is better. I did get a chance to check this one out a little bit. And I do know that she gets kind of representing yourself is never the thing you want to do. Okay. You just don't want to do that. Always get an attorney. Okay. Always get your attorney. Please get an attorney. There he is. Sketch Crash with his hello, Johnny O. Hey, Sketch Crasher. Good to see you. Literally thought Michael Jackson wrote the song Smooth Criminal about her. Oh my goodness. That's funny. All right, here we go.
All right, so I'm going to ask you to place yourself on mute. Miss Smith, the time is 7:18. I'm going to let you go to about 7:22, about 7:23. Floor is yours regarding this matter.
Okay, what is it you want me to do?
You can tell me a little bit of background regarding the allegations that that occurred, or from this particular incident that occurred on September 23rd, 2022.
Okay, all right. So what happened was that night.
Your Honor, I just want to interrupt for 1 second to make sure that my witness isn't in this room.
Ah, yes, I didn't know that you witnessed it. So who is your witness?
My witness is a woman named Loretta Plusser.
All right.
Okay, Your Honor.
Thank you. So, Ms. Smith, thank you for that. Ms. Smith, again, the floor is again yours regarding this particular matter that happened in September.
Yes. Okay, so that night, we were all in a good mood because my friend Loretta was visiting, and I was just like playing with him and just kind of touched.
Yeah, Matthew Greg Allen has got this. I think that's white hair here. Can't really tell, but he does have a very interesting hairdo. So
like his stomach area, going, oh, look at it, it's a little big, and then he immediately, I don't know where this came from, just grabbed my wrist. That I had surgery on, and he knows that I can't be grabbed in any way because I'm very sensitive to pain since I have nerve disorder. And he grabbed it, and at the same time, he flung it so hard that I was instantly crying.
Yes,
and I screamed and said, "Why did you do that?" And then he started yelling profanity at me, and I was just hysterical. And he was so mad and everything. And I was trying to calm him down. Then all I did was like touch his little waist to try to calm him down because he was just he's got an explosive temper, and I don't know what sets him off like this, but he's been doing that, and that was the reason why I was trying to break up with him for a while. And I think that was the reason why he was being abusive, because he knew that I was about to leave him. But when I touched his waist again, that's all I did was touch, and he just immediately grabbed my wrist again and flung it. And this happened 2 more times afterwards. So I was just like in so much pain.
Well, again, not that I'm defending somebody who is actively hurting somebody else, but if you, yes, for to speed it up, but if you grab somebody, if you touch somebody and they hit your hand away or hurt your hand and what it hurts you, and don't grab them again. Don't do it again. Certainly don't do it 3 times.
But I didn't think about calling the police at the time because I was just afraid of him. And I told him I was, nervous around him because he gets very moody and explosive in tempers a lot. And it started happening very beginning, like only the second date, he was already yelling at me. So I was always like very terrified of him. And when this happened, I just couldn't believe it. I never had anybody grab me and hurt me and just threw my arm like that. When I told this to the police officer, he was saying that, well, did you call the police that night? I said, no, I just didn't even know what to think. I was just trying to not, I didn't know if he was going to hurt me more. So I was actually too terrified to do anything. But when I was there to pick up my stuff after I broke up with him, that's when the police came and I told him what happened. And he said, well, you can file what happened that night now. I'm sorry if I'm talking badly, but I'm in a lot of pain. So when I'm in pain, I tend to stutter. I apologize. So the next day when I came home, I started to see more swelling on my wrist, and I took a picture of that. And a few days later, I had like bruise on that same wrist, and that's because when he grabbed it, he's very strong. They don't realize how strong they are. And when he grabbed it with such force, I was just like floored by the pain. And like I said, that was something I never expected. And I'm right now shocked my best friend is over there witnessing for him. I mean, this is unreal to me.
I got it. All right. Well, I will just stop you there because I want to make sure you give a sense of time. I think I have a grasp of what's going on.
You stopped me there because you started listening to you talk, say the same thing. My goodness. I don't know. This is sped up. I have this sped up because, yeah, my goodness. This is a 40-minute video. We're trying to get out of here quicker than that. Get to the good stuff.
Okay.
Your Honor, our opening statement is that it simply did not happen. Certainly didn't happen that way, and we're prepared to move forward.
All right. I appreciate it.
That's not true.
Ms. Smith, it's not the opportunity to say it's not true. The evidence will prove by probable cause if it's enough or not.
Okay.
This is not I just want to make sure everybody knows this. This is not an adjudication on the merits. This is just for probable cause. But with that being said, Ms. Smith, do you have any evidence and or witnesses that you want to introduce at this moment for us to take a view?
Remember, this is not the actual trial. They're determining whether or not there's probable cause. Okay, that's important.
I sent in picture to the clerk's office. You should have 2 pictures of my wrist. As far as witness, I don't have that. Loretta was there, the one that witnessing for Mr. Allen. That was my best friend. But whatever set her off, she left that day. So I have no idea what happened to her. But one was that
Adam Strange, the lady, is the plaintiff.
he hurt me so bad to the point where, I was instantly crying. And
I
of
got
course,
it.
he's going to deny it. I knew he would deny it.
Well, hold on. Of course. We wouldn't be here if there was not some type of response here. All right, is this the photograph that you were referencing that you sent
Yes,
us?
and there should be another picture with like a yellow bruising. It's a second picture sent separately.
I'm not sure. I'll see if I have that one here. Hold on.
I sent that on a few days later.
All right.
I'll look for it, Judge.
All right, I was gonna say this is the only one I have. And what
Oh, really?
specifically would you like the court to know about this photograph?
That you see the swelling there when he grabbed me really hard. The pain caused the more swelling since that wrist is already very sensitive. And when he grabbed it and flung it sideways, it caused more swelling and so much pain to the point where I couldn't stop crying. So that's what, I'm not even shocked that he's denying because I knew he would.
All right, well, hold on. That's fine. All right. Anything else other than this photograph? And let me see. I may have gotten another here shortly. Bear with me.
Okay.
I only seem to have this one.
Really? I wonder why it didn't get in. But it's the second picture. It has like a yellow bruising on the wrist.
But it's still evidence of the bruising of your wrist. Is that
right? That one has yellow bruising on it.
Okay. All right. Anything else as far as evidence or testimony from anybody that you intend to introduce?
No, only Loretta was there that night, but I had no idea she was going to pick on his side, but that doesn't surprise me. But whatever. I just know what happened.
Hold on. I don't know.
I just know what happened to me.
I got it. Counsel, now you're going to have an opportunity you're going to be cross-examined. Counsel has an opportunity to cross-examine if you don't have any other evidence or witnesses. So if you don't have any other witnesses and evidence, I'm going to leave the floor to counsel to cross-examine you. Okay?
Okay.
All right, counsel, this is your witness.
Yeah, Ms. Smith, you claim that this assault took place on the evening of September 23rd, 2022.
Yes.
And at that time, you'd only been dating Mr. Allen for 3 weeks?
About 4 weeks, something like that.
Okay. And you'd had complaints about Mr. Allen yelling at you.
He was scaring me, terrifying me, and he punched the wall from about 10 days before that. I dropped like a soy sauce or something, or vinegar, I'm sorry. At 4 in the morning, he woke up and he explosively completely lost his mind and saying, why aren't you sleeping and why are you not in bed? Instead of thinking that I was hurt because the vinegar went everywhere and I dropped it, and that made him so angry, and it got to a point where he started punching with force to the wall, and I was standing there shaking with fear. So I knew that. Excuse me?
Did he punch a hole in the wall?
No, he did not, but he was punching it several times, and I've never ever experienced something like that. That was just terrifying. So
what kind of wall was it he was punching? My goodness. I trip and accidentally hit a wall. Fucking thing crumbles. Now, no, I'm not like a Wreck-It Ralph or anything. My goodness.
Got explosive temper, and he was blowing my bit me, but I was always scared to say anything around him. And I told him I was very nervous around him because of his temper. And then I remember after this had happened, I was packing up to leave. Then he started grabbing me and started crying and bawling and saying, please don't leave me. And I forgave him that time, but that was my mistake because he continued to keep doing this with this, a mental.
Gypsy Love for $5 says, thank you for being on and being you. Thank you so much, Gypsy Love. I do appreciate that.
Abuse, and then he turned into this way. He grabbed it, and of course he's gonna tell you he didn't do it. I knew he was gonna say that, but I would never, file something like this unless someone actually genuinely hurt me. He's just trying to get out of it, of course.
Well, let's talk about that. Filing it unless someone hurt you, but you didn't call the police on September 23rd.
No, because I was in so much pain. I was completely scared that if I did, it was gonna hurt me more. I was afraid of him. Because he done this not once, but he grabbed it and flung it and grabbed it 3 times. And right. And when the police came when it was October the 4th when I was there.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay. But anyways, yeah, I didn't even think about doing that because.
Look at this attorney. It's like, shut up, lady. I got to ask my questions. But yeah, September 23rd, and you didn't call police till October?
At the time, I was so scared that he was
Hold on, Miss Smith. Just let counsel ask you questions. Right now, you're being responsive. You're just talking.
Okay, well, I thought I was still speaking. That's what I was thinking.
So
this is why you hire an attorney, folks.
September 23rd, you were afraid of him, but you didn't leave.
No, because if I I couldn't leave. I didn't know. He knows that I can't drive. It was my car, but he has to pick me up each time I go over there because of my nervous disorder. I cannot drive. He has to drive me home. That's why.
You have a cell phone?
Yes, I had a cell phone.
Do you have Uber?
No, but I've never used Uber before, and I didn't even know how to use it at the time. And at the time, like I said, I was so scared to leave my car there even. Because I was No, I didn't call 911. Like I said, I was so scared if they come, he was going to be more explosive. He just hurt me to the point where I was, screaming and crying in pain. I don't know what he's capable of. I've never been in a situation like this because I was married to a really sweet person, and I've never had anything like this ever happen before. But when the police came in October, they told me that I can file it now. That he told me
I got it. Ms. Smith, you said that you've never been in a situation like this before. Didn't you have an abusive boyfriend in New York?
No, I didn't. No, I did not have. I was never in New York. I don't know where he got that. I've never had anybody who touched me in that way or flung me. It doesn't matter even if I did. It doesn't justify what he did.
So Unchained America said really quick, it says judges need to crack down on prison guards selling drugs inside the prisons. Prison guards don't run the prison, prisoners do. Period. Especially those types of prisons. It's just the way it is. And I do agree there should be some things that happen. They could stop the drug trade. They could try and stop the drug trade. But yeah, that's a very, very difficult thing to do.
that he hurt me and he flung my wrist. And like I said, I couldn't leave because my car's there. He has to take me back home.
Your Honor, if you'll give me 1 minute here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if I can share my screen.
Preferably, I don't think you can. I think you would need to send it to me.
Okay, I am going to send, it was impeachment, Your Honor, so that's why I really didn't think I'd be sending this.
It's just honestly, it's safer that no one else has the ability just to share. If you understand.
Oh, I understand. I understand. So if you'd like, I'm happy to email it to you very quickly here.
That's fine. And if you can email to the clerk will send it to me immediately.
Can I ask what is it that you're trying to do?
Hold on, Ms. Smith. Hold on,
Okay.
Ms. Smith.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions for her while I wait? No?
I do. Yeah, go to that. By the way, Your Honor, when you pull it up, I'm specifically looking for page 5, not, there's 44 pages of it, just page 5.
Okay.
Okay, so Ms. Smith, you didn't ask Loretta to leave with you that night.
Actually, I was going to, but she was like on the phone a lot with different guys, and that's why she got angry. That I told her, you need to be careful with these people you don't know on the internet, and that made her so angry that she had left. But she was already talking about it with me before she even came to Georgia. She was saying, Jen, when we go over there, we're gonna pack your stuff and go. She's the one who even suggested that I leave this guy because he's not a safe person to be around. He said it first. She was my best friend, so I don't know what she's doing over there talking, but she was my best friend for 10 years, over 10 years, and she said, Jennifer, you got to cut him loose. He's abusive to you.
Okay, but you wrote a letter to Greg at some point within the 4 weeks of your relationship saying, both Loretta and Sarah are very happy for me because they know how sad and broken I really was after a tragic sudden passing of David. I know that he is smiling from heaven, relieved that I have you to support me, guide my path, and protect me. You are my beautiful guardian angel, right? You wrote that
was.
See, and again, I'm not an attorney, but I think a good attorney would have objected to that being read out right there because it's hearsay, from what I understand. Again, not an attorney. Ask Artie.
Before this happened, way before. That has nothing to do with the fact that he hurt me. That was at the very beginning when I didn't know that he was this abusive, explosive temper person.
Okay, so he's hurt you 3 different times, September 23rd, but Loretta doesn't intervene.
No, what do you mean she didn't intervene? She's the one who told me that when she said, Jen, when we go over there, we're going to pack up stuff and leave. And I told her that's what I want to do. And the very next day, we were going to leave his house together, and I was not going to come back. I just didn't tell him that. The way I broke up with him, I was so scared that I just completely cut off contact. And
okay, but instead of leaving, you were all having drinks that night.
No, I couldn't. No, this is before the when he assaulted me.
Okay, let's talk about the 23rd.
That's the night. That's the night I'm talking about.
Were you drinking that night?
I can't remember. If I did, it has nothing to do with the fact that he hurts me. That has nothing to do with the fact that he grabbed my wrist and we were all in good mood. That's why I was completely shocked that he just turned into this. He switches his mood. Like he's got really bad mood swings. And I even suggested, Greg, you need to see a counselor because your mood goes from like fine to like get upset so fast that I'm scared to be around you.
Let me ask you another question. Now you wrote on Facebook after you broke up with him, you would write about his alleged abuse, but you didn't mention anything physical about him grabbing your wrists.
Oh, actually, I did say that he was being abusive. I didn't want to get into the I didn't want to get into like the specifics of it. That was but this is something I didn't want anybody to know. I already know that he did it to me. That's all that matters. He hurt my wrist to the point where I was fine. And he flung it so hard.
Shortly after September 23rd, you also put on Facebook that you wish that your wrist, shoulder, and ankle didn't hurt so much so that you can achieve more delicate work that you love.
Right. Well, that has nothing to do with the fact that he hurt me.
But you didn't seek medical treatment the next day on the 24th or anything.
Yeah, Matthew Gagallon is very good at the statue game. I would hate to play the freaking statue game with him. My goodness.
Thing for your injuries.
Because it's a swelling and bruise. What are they going to do? All they're going to do is just say, ice it. I've been to hospital so many times. That's all they can do is just ice it, and it was bruising. But the fact is, he could control himself not to put his hands on me, but he grabbed me and he flung it so hard that I was instantly crying. And he actually said, I'm effing sorry, screaming at me. So he admitted what he did. That's the exact word. I'm effing sorry. And then I said, how can you do this? You know you're not supposed to touch me. And then he just wouldn't come down afterwards. And I wanted to leave, but if I was able to drive, but since I can't drive, he had to pick me up with my own car and take me back. That's why I couldn't leave that night. And I was planning to leave the next day with Loretta.
Okay, but you could call the police, but you didn't.
Like I said, I was too scared what he would have done because I had an abusive father. Okay, so what Greg is referring to, he's like making up words. I've never even been to New York with anybody except my ex-boyfriend, but he was not abusive in any way. So he's making up stories there. But my father scared me a lot when I was like 2 years I lived with him. So if I called the police, he would have been even worse by revenge to my mother and my family. So that's why I had that experience of his history. So I would never call police that day unless my life is in danger. And you know what? My life felt like it was in danger because I never had anybody, put his hands on me and hurt me to the point where I'm crying. And he knew that my wrist is already swollen. And
okay, so if you're ever in court and you're being examined, your answers need to be as short as possible. Because the more you talk, the more you give the opposition the ability to pick you apart, which is what's about to happen.
And I have nerve disorder that I take all this medication for. And
okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. The nerve disorder. You suffer from CRPS, right?
Yes. That happens to only 1 in 40,000 people. He knows not to touch me. Even
all I asked was that
right.
you suffer from CRPS.
Yes, that's why the pain gets really bad when somebody does that.
Okay, and you take many medications for it, right?
Right.
Do you also take medications for anxiety and depression?
No, I do not. I do not take anything for anxiety medication. I just take sleep medicine. That's it.
Sleep
But that has
medicine,
nothing
okay.
to do with right sleep medicine because the pain keeps me up.
And you take narcotics for the pain.
Right, and I've been taking it since the accident happened in 2012.
Okay. And alcohol use is contraindicated with several of your medications, is it not?
I don't use it all the time. I only did it because he was drinking, and I never go out of my way to buy it. I don't usually drink. He might think that I do, but I do not usually buy like any alcohol. But he was drinking so heavily, I feel like if I didn't join him or something, he's going to start something with me because
See, here we are. You're telling on yourself, lady. I don't normally drink, but that night I was drinking because he was drinking. If he didn't drink, and if I didn't drink while he was drinking, then he would have been. Come on, man. You're fucking yourself here.
he always looks for ways to
So you were drinking because you thought he'd hurt you if you didn't drink.
No, not hurt me, but that he was going to because he was already talking terrible things about my husband who passed away. He said, well, David seems like a nice person, but he cannot be that great if he doesn't drink. See, he was talking bad about my husband of 21 years. So that's the kind of person he is. He talked about my husband who died.
And let me interject quickly,
Okay.
in that regard to the testimony that you're making. I just want to let you know, counsel, I want to go ahead and again, shorten this up because I do want to give her an opportunity if necessary. But I did get that email with you with the parent information that you sent. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is what you're referring to.
Should start with, it's October 10, 2022.
October 10, 2022. All right.
Okay, Ms. Smith, you'll see at the top, this is just a couple weeks after September 23rd, October 10th, and it says, today I woke up with a bad dream, completely soaked in sweat, along with usual excruciating nerve pain. I was back with my abusive boyfriend I just broke up with in New York. He was actually nice to me, or he was nice to me in it, but that must be from how he was at the beginning of our relationship to trap me. You see that?
Right, but that was I was talking about Greg. I'm talking about Greg there, and I don't know what this posting has nothing to do with the fact that he hurt me.
Okay, Judge, you can.
I
This
got
has
it.
nothing to do with the fact that he hurt me.
Wow.
He did not.
There's not a question pending.
Ms. Smith, and I'll be honest with you, if there's no question, you don't have an opportunity to talk.
Okay.
All right.
He just
Okay,
made up
so
stuff that
Hold
I
on,
didn't.
hold on, Ms.
Okay.
Okay, and I just want to say, so what, it took you 3 months to work up the courage to try and file a warrant application to have
No,
him arrested for what took
no,
place?
you're wrong. I filed it the same October. Not October. It was the October 4th is when I was advised by the police officer, and I filed it. It's just that it took this long
Exactly.
because he told me it's going to take a while. I filed it way back then. It's just now coming. I did not wait 3 months. I did it immediately.
So you filed a police report about being abused, and it took them 3 months. How many of you believe that? Let me know in the side chat. Do you believe it took 3 months for the police to come on an abuse charge, on an assault charge? Let me know. Let me know what you think.
I did it like within a few days after I left. It's just that.
And Your Honor, I don't quite know how to use this for impeachment. I'm just looking at what was mailed to my client, the arrest warrant application. That looks like it was.
It says that, but I filed it way back in October, in the beginning of October. They told me it was going to take a while. They told me that.
Cheers,
They
Prince.
told me
To
the
that
patient
master.
is going to take a while.
Have a good
I
one.
did not file it in January. I filed it in October.
I have no other questions for Ms. Smith, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Smith, any other evidence or witnesses? Right, you're complete.
No, I do not have any other evidence except for that one I sent to you, and the second one probably I don't know how it didn't get there, but I sent a few days later. But these people are just
no worries, Ms. Smith. Hold on.
okay.
Counsel, do you have any evidence or witnesses that you want to introduce at this judge?
Me?
No, not you, Ms. Smith.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to call a witness.
Okay, would you like to? Is it that Samsung person?
Loretta Plusser. Yes, Your Honor.
Now, this Samsung person, this is supposed to be her best friend.
She's in the waiting room.
All right, we're gonna let Ms. Plusser in. We'll try to conclude this matter because I do have 2 other matters. Okay.
Your Honor, I promise. Ms. Plusser was there for. It'll be quick.
All right, Ms. Plusser, can we get you to turn your camera
How many of you people believe it'll be quick?
on as well as unmute? Camera on and unmute.
Hey, Blue Bear.
2 little buttons. Not seeming like we're getting her, counsel.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can see you. Excellent. Ms. Plusser, I am Judge J.G. Davis. This is the DeKalb County Magistrate Court. I need to get you under oath so counsel can ask you some questions. Is that okay? You understand?
That's fine.
All right, can I get you to raise your right hand? I'm going to get you under oath.
Yes, sir.
All right, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and a penalty and perjury of the law?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, counsel, this is your witness.
Yep. Ms. Plusser, how do you know Ms. Smith?
I've known her for many, many years. I used to work with her husband for many years at Best Buy.
Okay. And where do you live?
I live in Austin, Texas.
Okay. And on September 23rd, 2022, where were you?
I was in Atlanta, Georgia, visiting Jennifer Mindy Smith at Greg's apartment.
Tim Hicks, that would be Samsung. Not Samsung.
Okay. And what were you all doing that night at Greg's apartment?
We were standing by the bar counter and talking.
Okay. Were you drinking any alcoholic beverages?
Oh, not at all.
Okay. Was Ms. Smith drinking any alcoholic beverages?
Yes, she was.
Was there anything unusual about her behavior that night?
She was on different medications. She didn't seem herself. But she was very frustrated a lot with Greg, just talking bad about him all the time.
Now, Smith is about to get really agitated here. She's about to really agitated here in a second. And she's about to start fucking going off. But we won't be able to hear it because she forgot to unmute herself. So.
Okay. Did she seem like she was afraid of him?
No, not at all.
Okay. At any point, did you see, and by Greg, you mean Mr. Allen, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Did you see Mr. Allen put hands on her at any point that night?
No, sir, not at all. He was not that far away from the bar counter.
Oh my God, that is not true, Lord. I know that's not true.
Miss Smith, you do not speak out of turn unless you're following an objection.
No, just shocking to me.
No. I know, but then you need to be placed on mute.
Okay. At any point, did you have concerns for her safety that evening?
I woke up and she was not in bed, and I saw her asleep on the toilet, and I had to help her get back to bed.
Now, who hasn't been there?
Okay.
Like,
At any point
yeah,
that evening, were you afraid
Mary
for her
said that
safety
there. Who hasn't been
because of Mr. Allen?
Oh, no, not at all.
When did you end up leaving Atlanta?
The next morning.
Okay. Was that when you had planned to leave Atlanta?
No, I was planning on staying through that Sunday night.
Okay. What made you leave early?
Oh, because of her attitude, her screaming and hollering at everything. She's screaming towards me. She's screaming towards Greg, just on a lot of different things. And I went outside, called United Airlines, found out what the quickest flight was back home, and took a flight home that the next day.
Okay. So
that was Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Miss Smith didn't ask you to take her to the hospital?
Nope, not at all. She didn't
ask you to call 911?
Nope, not at all. And she seemed fine.
Okay. And at no point did you see him put hands on her?
There she goes.
No, I didn't see him put any hands on her.
Did you hear her yell out in pain or say something like, he's grabbing my wrist or he's hurting me?
No.
Okay. No further questions, John.
All right, Miss Smith, now that we have concluded the direct examination.
She is going off. She's not happy.
Miss Plusser, do you have any cross-examinations for her? You can take yourself off mute.
Okay.
Miss Smith, you can take yourself off mute if you have questions for Miss Plusser. You are on mute, though. It's the button that looks like a microphone. Now your screen's gone.
Hey, Tony.
All right. Nope, screen's gone. Oh, and now you're back on mute.
Yeah, this is
Now
funny.
turn on your camera. There you go.
Okay. Can I say something, Your Honor?
Nope, you can't just say something. You can ask questions of Miss.
Oh, ask something. Who do I ask to?
Miss Plusser.
Okay. Can I address her then?
Yes. Please.
Yes. Okay. Where is she? So I can. Okay. My question is this. I don't know why she decided to just
No. Ask her a question.
Okay, Loretta, you definitely saw when he put his hand on me, and then when I was instantly crying, you saw that, and then when I was like,
wait, that's one question. Wait, Miss Smith, that's one question.
I don't know.
So just let her answer the question. Just ask her. It's a simple question.
I'm asking. You saw him grabbing because I just touched his stomach, and you saw him immediately turn his temper into this person that was really angry.
Well, let her answer, Miss Smith.
Right, I'm asking her that. I said you saw that. You were there when you saw that, and then you actually said, "Oh, Jen, he said he's sorry, so it's okay." She actually said that. This is what she said. She said,
let her answer.
None of those sound like questions to me. I don't know about you.
See what she says.
Okay, well, that's why my question was.
Miss Plusser.
I did not see you poking in the stomach.
Oh, you saw me. This happened, and then he immediately grabbed my wrist and flung it. That's why I started crying. And then you looked at me and said, "Jen, calm down." He said he's sorry, so it's okay. You said that. Did you not?
Are you there?
That's exactly what you said. And then he did.
Wait. Give her an opportunity, Miss Smith.
Okay.
Give her an opportunity to respond.
All right. I'm sorry about that.
Okay. So what's the question I'm supposed to answer now?
The question is this: when you may have not seen me slightly touch his belly, but you were actually very close. You're closer to him at the time in the kitchen. And then we were just in a good mood, right? We all were. And then he immediately got upset.
Wait, I thought you were definitely afraid of leaving. Now all of you were in a good mood. I don't know about that.
And grabbed my wrist and flung it sideways. And I stepped back about 4 or 5 steps. And I started crying. I said, "Why did you do that, Greg? That hurt." That's exactly what I said, right? Did you not hear that? You heard that. Well, yes, you did, because you actually said, "Jen, he said he's sorry, so it's okay." You said that. That's exactly your words. So I don't know why you're like,
Miss Smith. I understand you're not a lawyer, so my expectation is not to make you out to be one. But you do have to give Miss Plusser an opportunity to respond to your questions. Right now, you're just testifying under the guise of a question.
Right. I'm just asking her.
So just give her an opportunity to respond, because if she doesn't respond, it's just you talking.
Okay. Well,
Ms.
that's
Plusser,
my question.
she has just given you a statement of events that said that you witnessed and confirmed. And so we want to know if that's a yes or a no.
That's a no, because I didn't see him putting any hands on her or anything.
Yeah, that's a good question, Mike said. Did he grab her wrist because she was attacking him? Well, I mean, she may have, let's say she was poking him. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like to be poked. I'm not necessarily going to grab somebody's wrist about it, but it depends on the person. Like if my wife comes to me and starts poking me, I ask her to stop. I'm not going to grab her wrist, but I mean, look, just because he's a man and she's a woman doesn't mean that she is that she gets, she gets carte blanche to be able to do whatever she wants. Still got to follow some rules there.
He was standing not that far away from me.
Okay, now that's her response, Miss Smith. All right. Do you have any other questions for her?
my question was then when I said, why did you hurt me? You actually, why would you say, he said he's okay. So he said he's sorry, so it's okay. That's
Your Honor,
exactly
ask
what
the
your life, that's exactly what she said.
Okay. So
That's
just
exact
wanna-
words.
wait, Ms. Smith. I just want to confirm because a lot of your questions are a little jumbled, but I understand. This is
Well, that's because I didn't get a lawyer like
so
him.
Ms. Plusser, she's
Yes,
saying that you heard him say or said it's okay because he's sorry. Is that something that you said?
No.
That's not true.
Okay, Ms. Smith, any other questions for Ms. Plusser?
Another question is this. Did you not also hear me scream in pain when he did it second and third time? I touched his wrist to try.
Okay. My goodness. Brooke says, what? I can't just poke people? I mean, you know, some people like to be poked, some people don't. This is another reason why you hire an attorney. Because as Stan Rothenstein said, sometimes it's about knowing what not to ask.
To calm him down and
Wait, stop. See how that's one question? So give her an opportunity to answer that question.
Okay, I said, did you not hear me say that? I screamed out in pain second and third time. Did you not hear it?
No.
Oh, okay, in your line.
Miss Smith, we don't call people liars. That's what the evidence.
I'm sorry. I'm just shocked that my best friend of 10 years is stabbing me in the back right now. I'm just shocked.
If you have any other questions for Ms. Plus? Yes or no?
Yes, I do. Is there a reason why you're not giving the truth when you're under oath? Because you've seen me. It's not like
Objection, Your Honor.
Yeah, that's
Ms. Smith,
argumentative.
that is not an appropriate question.
I don't know what else to ask except because she's lying about stuff.
Okay, but that's what and again, I'm not trying to be difficult for you and I understand your frustration, but again, her answer is her answer, unless you have evidence.
Okay, well, that's fine. I guess you can decide for yourself who's telling the truth, right?
And that is exactly my job, and that's why
that's your job.
You don't have to call people liars.
Okay, I understand.
I can figure that out for myself.
All right, thank you. I'm sorry.
All right. So, counsel, do you have any other evidence, or would you like to redirect?
Oh, I have no other questions, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Plusser. You are free to go.
Thank you, sir. You have a blessed evening.
You as well. Counsel, do we have any other evidence?
I do not, Your Honor.
All right. This is what we're going to do. Ms. Smith, you are going to get no more than till 8 o'clock. And then I'm going to give you counsel till about 8:02 to respond. And then we're going to make a determination about what's going on. Ms. Smith, the floor is yours. Tell me why I should issue an arrest warrant.
Okay, so you start now?
Right now.
Okay. I'm just shaking right now because of what all I've heard is just completely unreal. That my best friend is like saying all stuff when she was there 2 feet away from him, and she heard me scream. She's the one who actually said, "Jennifer, you need to cut him loose." And I was planning to. She wanted me. She actually said, "When I go down to Atlanta, I'm gonna pack stuff with you. We're gonna leave together." So right now she must be angry at me because we got into an altercation at the time. So that's probably the reason why she's taking on his side. But what I'm saying is I would never file a complaint to somebody that never happened. He grabbed my wrist and flung it, and whether she wants to admit it or not, she actually was there, witnessed it. If anything, I thought she was going to witness for me. I was going to ask her, but I didn't want to put her to the burden. I had no idea that she was going to turn around and go, take a side of that. She wanted me to actually leave him for a while, and that's what I did. I actually did. It's just that I had to do it my way because I had no way to get.
Up and out, no, Alan is not going to say a word because he is doing the smart thing and allowing his attorney to talk for him. That's why she hired him. That's why he hired his attorney. She should have hired an attorney as well, but I don't know if there's an attorney that would have taken the case. I mean, they might probably. There's an attorney out there that would have taken this case. Absolutely. Absolutely would have taken this case because they want money.
Get out of there unless he drove me. And even though she thinks I wasn't scared of him, I was. I told him many times that I'm always scared around him. And I told Loretta as well that I feel like I'm walking eggshells around him because whatever I say wrong, he just explosively goes off. So I have no idea why she's over here making up lies about how she didn't see it when she yelled and said, "Hey, Jen, he said he's sorry. It's okay." And the second and third time, she saw that too. I mean, she's completely not telling the truth, and I'm just completely floored that my own best friend of 12 years is doing this. There's no excuse for this. There's no excuse for what she's doing. She saw what she saw.
Miss Smith, I got it. And I'm only stopping you because at this juncture you're saying the same things, and I just want it for time purposes.
Just shocked by my best friend doing this.
I understand. So what I'm going to ask you to do, I'm going to put you on mute because something else may be shocking that you may hear as a result of this closing. And so I'm going to put you on mute so you don't have unnecessary outbursts, and I'm going to give the floor to counsel, and we're going to see where we go from here. Hold tight. Counsel.
Your Honor, while I'm sorry for whatever injuries and conditions Ms. Smith suffers from, it simply was not due to any actions on my client's part back in September. As you've heard, I would say a disinterested witness, but a witness that flew in to see Ms. Smith has testified that this didn't happen. The only testimony we got, the only time that I asked, were you worried for her safety, was when she found her asleep in the bathroom and had to help her put her back to bed. There were a million different options that would provide some circumstantial evidence that a criminal act took place, be it a call to the police the next day, be it fleeing the house in fear, be it Ubering to leave, asking Loretta to take her. There's none of that. Absolutely none of that. So that my client is blindsided by a warrant application. So once again, this is an eyewitness who's saying it didn't happen. There's no other relationship between Ms. Plusser and my client. You heard that they've been friends for Ms. Plusser and Ms. Smith for 10 years. That's who she came to see, and she ended up leaving early because of Ms. Smith's behavior. And at no point was it he attacked me or anything like that or anything that she saw. So I'm going to ask that Your Honor dismiss this warrant application as they have not met the standard for probable cause.
All right. All right. So
Uh-oh.
I will let everyone know as well. I have been, obviously looking at the evidence, reviewing things that have been presented to me. Again, this is not an adjudication on the merits of the matter at all. This is merely a probable cause hearing to determine whether or not there's sufficient evidence to make an arrest. I will say, upon reviewing the evidence, Ms. Smith, despite your very strong and adamant statements, the evidence, and this is all that I have to go off of, does not support that Mr. Allen, in fact, grabs your arm and injured you. I will indicate that the testimony that you provided as well indicated that if anything, and if there was any type of touching, it was only after you touched him. And apparently occurred multiple.
Uh-oh. Did she shoot herself in the foot by admitting in court that she touched him first? That she put hands on him first? And he, if anything, shushed her hand away or moved her hand away because he didn't want to be touched by her? This is why you hire an attorney, folks.
Multiple times. And so there's been no indication, though, that even in that touching, that there was actually some type of violence that occurred or was intended. And so because we don't have any evidence of that, and furthermore, we have evidence that indicated it didn't happen at all that way, I'm not inclined to issue an arrest warrant, okay? And with that, I will have this matter dismissed for failure of having lack of probable cause. Ms. Smith, you are free to go as a result. There won't be any paperwork, but it will be an order showing that it is dismissed. And the same for Mr. Allen and counsel. We appreciate your time and efforts today, and you guys are free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor. Stay safe.
Thank you. Please hit
Thank you, Your
the
Honor.
repeat button for all parties involved in position 1. Thank you.
And that was it. You could tell she was not happy. She was not happy. Can't say that I blame her, though. Listen, folks. If you're going to... if you're going to go to court, yeah, you keep your pie hole shut. Short, concise answers. Don't talk when you don't need to talk. Yeah, hire an attorney. Hire an attorney. My goodness. Folks, let me know. Did you enjoy yourself today? I know the first video was kind of weird, and I just started looking at some court videos. Maybe next time I'll vet some more of these a little bit better. Kind of thought, just like shot in the dark, see what you guys thought. We can always go back to more sovereign citizen, First Amendment auditor type stuff, or we can do more court stuff. I mean, it's all fun. I know I will be looking at a couple of actual sovereign citizens. I've got one, and my goodness, this lady, School of Lenka Coloma, I think she's a graduate of, which is never a good thing. Never a good thing to be the Lenka graduate. So, oh geez, there we go. That'll be my next creative content video. That'll be on Friday, I believe. Variety is good, says Mystique. Also, Fangirl had a good time. Brian Powell had a good time. Good. We'll do some more of these stuff. Witch of Heart is only 2 away from 1K. Congratulations. You're going to get there. It'll happen. It's going to happen within the next 30 minutes. We'll see. You gave yourself a new right. Always a good day, says Brooklyn Cloud. I saw that. Okay, so I'm going to ask you this. If it's okay for you to poke, then it's okay for you to be poked. No, I don't mean that way. Okay? I'm talking like Anyway, it's 10 o'clock. What? My goodness. 10 o'clock? That's what happens whenever you have a good time. All right, so couple of things. I'm going to do the best that I can to make sure and stay on and doing the videos and the live streams, but it is starting to pick up. Things are kind of picking up a little bit. I've got a gig, I think, next weekend. I believe it's next weekend. Or no, it's this weekend. Holy shit. Today's only Tuesday. Yeah, I got a gig this weekend. So actually, I may not be able to do a live Friday. So I might be on a job. So yeah. Man, damn. Jesus, damn it. I've got a couple of Lenka videos as well. Actually, my number one video is a Lenka video. And I mean number one by a lot. So I put out a Lenka video like just over a year ago. And that one did like 118,000 views. I was like, yes, I made it. And then nothing's ever touched it since. But, whatever. It is what it is. But, yeah. So, yeah, my goodness. I'm going to definitely put a video out. So, all day tomorrow's going to be working on this video. I started looking at... no, I'm not going to do a 2-hour outro, Tim. So tomorrow's going to be all video day. And then it'll come out Friday. And if I can... if I can live stream Friday, I will. If not, I won't. We'll see what happens. But that's what it is. What it is. It is what it is. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for all the super chats and new members, and likes, comments, and hanging out with me. It's always fun. I have a good time. Really, you guys are awesome. So much fun. Steve K says, I need a doobie after that. I can understand. I can definitely understand. Yeah. Make sure you check out some of the other creators. I know a lot of you probably already do, but check them out anyways. What's that? Maybe next year you are clipping pretty little. Oh no, I forgot about that. I forgot about the request to put things in my beard for Valentine's Day. Oh. Hank's Corner with the tridents. That's right. Let me see some tridents. And again, make sure you grab those shirts that are pinned because they're going to go away, I think, within the next, we'll say 48 hours, whatever. By the weekend. This weekend, they will be gone. So if you want one, get one. Otherwise, it's gone forever. And I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to say other than, what was that? Wait a minute. You come back here. No. Go away. There we go. Anyway, hope you guys had fun. I had fun. Thank you so much. We will see you soon. Finger guns, everybody. Let's see the finger guns and the tridents. And we're out.